Hey, I'm Kelsey, and today I'm here to do the BookTube Newbie Tag. I recently started this channel, obviously, so I figured this was a good way to maybe put myself out there a little bit more and let people get to know me a little bit. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first question is, why did you start this channel? Well, I started this channel because I really love books and love collecting them. I don't know. I feel like it's an easy question, but I don't have a good answer. I love books. I love reading. I love watching other people make videos, and I really wanted to do it too. Yeah, I don't have much else to say for this question. Sorry. And question 2 is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, I don't really have a good answer for this one either. Some fun things, I don't know, I guess I can bring my unique personality. I am goofy. Oh, I'm pretty much goofy. I don't know if it'll show well in these videos because I'm probably still camera shy. Yeah, I don't know what else to say for this question. I'm bad at doing this tag already. Question 3 is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? Well, what I'm most excited for is basically getting myself out there a little bit more. I'm not out there. I don't know, I just think it'll be fun to get my face out there and get into BookTube. I don't know, like I said with the first question, I really love BookTube and I just want to be a part of it. It seems like a lot of fun. And question 4 is, why do you love reading? Well, that's an easy one. I just love reading because it kind of like takes you to another universe, and you can be in whatever universe a certain book is set in, or whatever dimension, whatever. And it's just really fun to be able to escape reality for a little bit of time and live in the book moment, so to speak. And just getting able to read all these interesting stories and these interesting points of views and just, I don't know, all that good stuff, you know? Question 5 is, what book or series got you into reading? Well, that's an easy answer, typical for most booktubers, I think. Twilight did. I can tell you a little story about it too. When I was in 6th grade, the movie had just come out, and you know, everyone was freaking out about it and everybody loved it, and I bought the book and I read like the first couple chapters, because back then I still wasn't hardcore into reading, but I read the first couple chapters, and I wasn't like moved by it or anything. I really liked the movie, but the book didn't move me or like change me or anything, so I kind of didn't finish reading it. But then after New Moon came out when I was in 7th grade, I had to know what happened next. So I picked up Eclipse and I read it, and I loved it, and then I had to know what happened, and I had to know what happened after Eclipse. So then I read Breaking Dawn, and then I loved Breaking Dawn. It was so good, and I was like, you know what, I should probably go back and read the rest of the series. So then I finished Twilight, and then I read New Moon. So, I mean, kind of Twilight got me into reading, more so Eclipse, because after I read Eclipse, I was just like hooked, and I had to know what happened next, and I read Breaking Dawn in like 2 days. And if you've seen that book, you know it's a pretty big book. And so I was only in 7th grade, and my reading level wasn't very high at that point. So the fact that I read Breaking Dawn in like 2 days, my mom was like amazed. Like, she thought it was crazy that I read it in 2 days. I thought it was crazy that I read it in 2 days, because my reading level, like I said, just wasn't very high at that point. And basically throughout middle school, I reread the Twilight series like several times. And I know it gets a lot of hate, but I think it also deserves a lot of appreciation for all the people and all the people that got into reading. And I just think it deserves a lot more credit than what it gets. And question 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I've been thinking about this one for a while now, and I'm not totally sure what I would ask them. Maybe just, how do you initially get over being so camera shy? Because I am so camera shy, as I'm sure it's obvious. How do you get over that, and how did you get over that, I should say? and I don't know, yeah, just how do you get over it? That's the only thing I can think of. Sorry if the camera angle changed. My camera died, so I had to go charge it for a little bit. But anyways, question 7 is, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? I can only think of one, and it is, like I mentioned before, camera shyness. I am a little camera shy, and I'm still trying to overcome that so that you can get to know me a little bit better, and let my personality show a little bit more. But I feel like once I overcome that, things will be a little bit more smooth, and the videos will be a little bit better, and I won't be as awkward, because I'm sure despite my best efforts, I am still a little bit awkward. So question 8 is, when did you start reading? When did I start reading? I would say 7th grade, but I don't know if that, or yeah, 7th grade, I don't know if that counts or not. When I actually started reading, I read, I don't know, like, I'm sure when you were a kid, you heard of the Junie B. Jones books. I read those books and I loved them when I was like a really little kid. I can't remember how old I was when I started reading those, but those were the books that I read when I was a little kid, and it didn't really make me love reading, because I didn't start loving reading until I was like in 7th grade, but I did read those. And when I was, you know, now that I think about it, I think I was like in 1st grade maybe when I started reading those, so I guess you could say I started reading when I was in 1st grade. And question 9 is, oh God, I can't read. Where do you read? Usually I read in bed. I just lie in bed and read. I know they say you're not supposed to, but oh well. If I'm not reading in bed, then I like sit in the living room. I typically don't read in the car just because I get motion sickness, so typically where I read is laying in bed. And finally, question 10 is, what kind of books do you like to read? I typically read YA books, and I know that's not a genre, but typically I read YA books, and the genre that I typically like to read is fantasy. I read a lot of fantasy. I have a couple, right here, as you can see right here, I have a couple contemporary books. I'm slowly getting into contemporary, slowly. But typically what I like to read is fantasy. Okay, well that was the BookTube Newbie Tag. If you have any other questions that you want me to answer, you can leave them in the comments, and I will answer them, because let's be honest, not that many people are gonna ask me questions, so I can get around to answering them all. So thank you for watching, and like I said, if you have any other questions, leave them below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, or subscribe, either or both, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.